Once upon a time, a classic fairy tale
You found me.
was turned upside down.
This is my happy ending.
I've never seen anything like it on television.
It always leaves you wanting to know more.
People see themselves in the show.
Tonight, we celebrate
Charming.
a story of love
I think true love is massive, and that's a big part of it.
and hope,
It is never too late.
of heroes
I think that's something that everyone responds to.
and villains,
It's very rare that you get the opportunity to try and put a spin on such classic characters.
I wouldn't count on it.
of courage
It's not our prize. It's mine.
There's a lot of lessons to learn from our show.
and honor,
It's everything that you want from a fairy tale.
Villains don't get happy endings.
of faith
You will always find me, and I will always find you.
and family.
You're here? Yes, we're coming to get you.
The cast of Once Upon a Time joins creators Edward Kitsis and Adam Horowitz
We're just trying to tell a new story based on all these things that we love.
for an enchanted journey through the realms,
It's about hope, and it's always been about hope.
He's back.
I was blown away by the scale of it. It was really special.
where magic
Who are you really dealing with?
is everywhere
The show is so much fun.
and happy endings
I'm excited to find out what's going to happen.
can sometimes
Get down!
turn wicked.
I didn't see that coming.
Who are we dealing with?
Wicked always wins.
Once Upon a Time has taken us from Storybrooke, Maine to the Enchanted Forest and all the realms in between. Most recently, our heroes journeyed to Neverland to save young Henry from the clutches of Peter Pan. They were successful, but Pan found his way to Storybrooke and cast the Queen's curse.
We have no choice. You have to go.
All the fairy tale characters were sent back to the Enchanted Forest, leaving Henry and Emma to begin a new life, with no memory of their time in Storybrooke. But if there has been one constant along this journey, it's that anything is possible if you hold on to hope.
Swan.
Who are you?
No friend.
So let us go back in time, when a young boy set everything in motion.
Are you Emma Swan?
Yeah, who are you?
My name's Henry. I'm your son.
When I first got the pilot script for Once Upon a Time, I was absolutely blown away. Every page was so outrageously creative and different than anything I'd ever read.
They're not fairy tales. Every story in this book actually happened.
Of course they did.
It was just so innovative, and the writing is so incredible. I couldn't believe that they were able to find a way to make these characters accessible to every member of a family.
The evil queen did it with her curse.
An evil queen sent a bunch of fairy tale characters here.
Yeah, and now they're trapped.
I never read a script like this before. There was so much humanity, and that really resonated with me.
Where have you been? I found my real mom.
I just remember I was amazed that they were able to weave these stories in together and make it all sort of a cohesive thing.
It was definitely something I wanted to be part of after reading it because I just wanted to know more about all of these characters. Well, wherever you're going, be careful. If you need anything,
You'll find me.
always.
I love the idea, I love the notion, the premise of the fact that you had Storybrooke
Hi, my name is Mr. Gold.
and then the fairy tale land,
Rumpelstiltskin.
and these two characters kind of running hand in hand. So it's not very often you get offered two characters in one.
Now we're talking.
There's so much going on at any given moment on this show. And there's a lot of room for interpretation.
Even though there was a very high concept way of presenting that, the underlying meaning was so significant and so universal that I felt like it had a real chance of being something that people related to.
You're too late.
When we watched the finished product of the pilot, it kind of just went beyond all expectation. And it just had all of that magic in it. Open it. That moment where Prince Charming finds her in the casket in the forest surrounded by the dwarves and gives her true love's kiss and wakes her up. I mean, it felt really special. It felt magical. It started to snow for real.
Yeah.
You could feel that we were filming this iconic image from fairy tales.
You found me.
It's phenomenal. I'll never cease to be amazed at the scale of it and the size of it.
You, Snow White, promise to take this man to be your husband.
I do.
Fairy tales were really the first stories you hear as a child, and they stay with you forever.
I have a lot of fun with the fairy tale land stuff. Very interesting, twisted plots.
Everybody's sort of grown up with fairy tales.
My mom took me to see Snow White, and I saw the evil queen on screen and got scared to death.
I shall destroy your happiness if it is the last thing I do.
Snow White was the first film I remember seeing, you know, and that was the biggest effect on me, I suppose, as a child. The witch, particularly, just really freaked me out.
I like to be spooked, so Hansel and Gretel was one of my favorites. Little Red Riding Hood, because I like things that are really scary. It's just fun. It's fun to get, to be scared.
I'm something of a Disney-phile, I call it. And Snow White was my first princess love.
Snow? What are you doing?
I really did love Hook as a kid.
What's the name of the place we're headed, Captain? Neverland!
The possibility of being able to live forever is fantastic.
Cinderella was very relatable to me because I was kind of a misunderstood kid, and I think that feeling outcast was something that I subconsciously related to.
Did you get everything you desired?
Most of these fairy tales and the characters thematically all have a good message in there somewhere, like you look at Beauty and the Beast.
Did you do all this for me?
It's what's on the inside that counts.
You're not who I thought you were. And I'm glad.
It's something we'd love to explore on the show, which is what is a happy ending? And is there such a thing?
I love you, Henry.
And that, I think, is a question that all of our characters deal with.
I love you too. You saved me.
That's what we loved about fairy tales. It's why people buy lottery tickets in the hope that overnight your life will change.
You found us.
Everyone,
Fairy tales come in all sizes.
grab an axe. It'll give you your dwarf name.
I've always called our show sort of the ultimate fan fiction. The material is so ripe for invention.
The axe never lies, Dreamy.
I always remember Eddie saying, grumpy. He said, why is he grumpy? Well, that's brilliant. Then you've got more than one episode to explain why he is grumpy.
Bossy, hand me another axe.
We thought that it would be so much fun to put our own twists on these fairy tales.
It's grumpy now.
And playing the what if game. What if Snow White's best friend was Little Red Riding Hood?
Everyone calls me Red.
What if Pinocchio met the daughter of Snow White and Prince Charming? There were just so many different permutations that really excited us.
What's that?
That is your happy ending.
What if the evil queen had her happy ending? What if the evil queen got what she wanted? Here's an opportunity to take these characters and go deeper with them.
Shh, someone's here.
I loved that episode. I love that we got to see the evil queen in love. She's doe-eyed and excited about life.
Help! Give me your hand!
And when she saves Snow White, she has a genuine smile on her face, and she's really happy to meet this little girl.
It's okay, dear. You're safe. You saved my life.
Regina.
I'm Snow White.
Oh my gosh, Lana, Priya, and I watched that episode together. We both started crying.
What are you doing with him?
Snow, I can explain.
To find out that that was at the heart of our relationship.
You can never tell my mother.
Changed how we portrayed our characters for the rest of the series thus far.
I should have let her die on that horse.
Because we all do truly love all of these characters, I think it's just so satisfying once you start playing that what if game.
And the next step for us was this notion of mashing them up.
Geppetto, can you build such a thing?
Me and my boy, we can do it.
We are going to take Snow White, and we're going to take Captain Hook, and we're going to take Peter Pan and the Wicked Witch, and we're going to throw them all together in our backyard and play with them.
You know, I could have just poofed us up here in an instant.
Belle hanging out with Grumpy in the dwarf tavern.
Thank you.
You know, so you're sort of like, oh, well, that never happened.
Ursula?
I loved Ursula.
Hello.
I felt so honored to play her.
You're real.
The way they've twisted them around and the way the relationships have developed through the different characters is really cool.
You sent me a message. Help! Help! Can you save us? The answer is yes.
These two characters coming together, it's the Beast, but it's Rumpelstiltskin.
Well, you can't go with this beast.
I think it's a fantastic dynamic. It's such a fun relationship to play.
You will dust my collection and launder my clothing.
Yes.
You will fetch me fresh straw when I'm spinning at the wheel.
Got it.
And you will skin the children I hunt for their pelts. That one was a quip.
The cup is so iconic. I'm so sorry, but
It is chipped.
Oh, it's just a cup.
It's just a cup. Just like, okay.
I'm so sorry, sir.
I was wrong. Not a rat at all. More like a crocodile. I did like the storyline with him being the crocodile. I thought it was a good twist on the story, you know?
You. Rumpelstiltskin.
What Robert does with Rumpel is fantastic because he's not based on anybody, whereas like Hook, we've all seen different reincarnations.
So, you done trying to kill me?
I believe so.
We started off under the premise that there was Mr. Gold and there was Rumpelstiltskin, but as the seasons have progressed, it's really about 5 or 6 characters now.
It's going to be hard to kiss her when you don't know where she is. Yeah.
So I need to be careful with the voice, with the mannerisms, with the movements.
What would make you happy?
All of these things kind of make up the character I have to kind of keep close track of.
What are you doing?
Opening these. It's almost spring. We should let some light in. I love the curtains. I suppose that's really the first moment that they have a physical and emotional connection.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed performing it and working with Emily. But what no one could plan for was the reaction that had. People are saying this episode gives them hope that everyone has got a chance
What's happening?
to find love.
Kiss me again. It's working.
I think that happy endings are earned. I don't think they're necessarily just given to you, they're just lying around.
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
Once Upon a Time is mashing up all these fairy tales together, but the reality is Eddie and Adam have written a new fairy tale, which is about Emma and Henry.
I'm sorry I lied to you about your dad. I promise I will never lie to you again.
When you come together to tell a story that has that at the root of it, I think a lot of that overflows into the lives that are bringing it to life every week.
Just don't push me away.
It definitely ends up touching us as well.
So Rumpelstiltskin is Henry's grandfather?
Apparently.
This extended family has many ties.
So his step-grandmother is Regina, the evil queen.
Actually, his step-great-grandmother.
Good thing we don't have Thanksgiving in our land, because that dinner would suck.
Oh my gosh, we're one ginormous family on this show.
Well, the family tree begins with Snow White and the evil queen, who is her stepmother.
You are most certainly the fairest of them all.
Regina is the daughter of Cora, who was the student of Rumpelstiltskin.
Let's begin.
Snow White then met a shepherd who became Prince Charming.
Will you marry me?
We have Snow White and Prince Charming's daughter,
who they lost to a curse. And that daughter became Emma Swan.
So it's true.
Snow White and Prince Charming are my parents.
Emma met Neil, also known as Balefire.
Neil?
I am the son of Rumpelstiltskin and Mila.
What's his name?
Rumpelstiltskin was married to Mila, who left him for Captain Hook.
Who's this?
It's no one. It's just my husband.
Rumpelstiltskin's son ends up with Snow White and Prince Charming's daughter.
This is my son.
Emma and I had a son, Henry.
Yes.
Who Emma gave up because she didn't feel like she could be a mother, who ended up being adopted by Regina, the evil queen.
So that makes Regina Henry's step-grandmother and mother.
I'm your mother.
No, you're not.
Regina is the adoptive mother of Henry. I am the birth mother of Henry.
Grandpa?
Yeah, kid. I suppose so. And then we have Peter Pan, who's Rumpel's father.
Hello, laddie.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan was Rumpel's father, who used magic to reverse his aging.
Where's Henry? Will you be my great-grandson?
So Peter Pan is Henry's great-grandfather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a family show.
But every happy family
Now, my boy, for your present.
has a few dark secrets.
Why would you do that?
The seer said the boy would be my undoing, so I have no choice. I must be his.
Darker element fairy tales were fascinating to me. It was they were scary yet sort of comforting.
I do love it when we go dark. I prefer playing, we call her Snow Gray.
Tell me. What?
It's a chance for me to explore something incredibly new and scary.
I love that scene on so many levels. It was beautifully written, and Jenny and I had a really good time working on that scene.
Do you see that? What did you do to it? Oh, I didn't do that.
Being able to play that out was fun.
You did it. And once you blacken your heart, it only grows darker.
I like the dark side of the show too. I'm very lucky with Hook. I get to play both sides of the coin. You know, he's good sometimes, then he's really bad.
Killing me is gonna take a lot more than that, dearie.
That Rumpelstiltskin there, I think, is a really interesting one because that's the one who's not quite complete. You know, he's nasty. He can kill things at the drop of a hat. And he's a dangerous character at that point. When you see him with the seer, the hands.
Find him.
How?
He hasn't really been the dark one for so long at that point, and he's kind of, he's very mean.
The boy will be your undoing.
Then I'll just have to kill him.
I've always been attracted to the dark side of these fairy tales. I liked exploring that world.
In true Once Upon a Time style, these characters just keep getting deeper and deeper and more complex.
I want you all to know what I feel, and that is regret that I was not able to cause more pain.
I love that episode, and I love that switch, and she has that kind of that smile at the end where, you know, I think she also likes to put on a show.
And above all else, with every ounce of my being, I regret that I was not able to kill Snow White.
There have been so many times when they could have killed each other, and they never actually do it.
Do it. Crush it. Get it over with. And put you out of your misery? Now get off my porch.
Ripping hearts out is fun to do. It's odd and weird, and the heart is so strange looking. You know, it's like this rubbery plastic weird thing, and you're pulling it out from someone's armpit.
This is how it's done.
It's just odd.
I wanted a heart, and a heart I shall have.
I think she enjoys doing it. Again, it shows her power, and that was very seductive.
We know that if your heart is taken from you, you can be controlled.
Bring the boy to me.
Or you can be killed. We know that if your shadow has been taken from you,
it can pretty much result in instant death.
He rips your shadow right from your body.
I gather it hurts.
And we met the original Shadow of Neverland, who sounded a lot like Marilyn Manson.
You have to believe.
I'll take the heart rip, because with the heart rip, there's always the hope it can be returned.
Probably heart. That's what I'll take. The shadow, I don't know. You've lost a sense of yourself. Just take the heart, crush it.
It really looked like when Greg Mendel's shadow was ripped from him, it was painful.
I would say having your heart ripped out has some degree of pain.
Looks like they're in shock, though, because the minute they see their own heart, it's more like what just happened.
It's like taking off a Band-Aid. It happens really fast, and then you're okay.
They both suck, is the truth.
Emma! Oh, you foolish girl. Love is weakness.
I think it's important for the show to sort of have those dark moments so that you can have the light at the other side. I think that's why people like it.
No,
They really feel the sense of hope and love.
it's strength.
Even though these characters live in a fairy tale world and they're fantastical, they're all very human. And they go through universal things that everybody goes through.
I went to Regina's house and she ripped out my heart. It has started to blacken because of what I did.
But I think that's the way it should be. Every journey that's worth taking is never easy, right?
Find another way, I know it.
What makes you so sure?
This does. And I know it better than anyone.
What if it fails?
There is power in believing.
The magic wardrobe? It's a long shot. We all know this, so how can you be so sure?
Because I have the one thing you need now more than anything.
We wanted to do something that really embraced this idea that, in this world, no matter how bad things get or how bad things seem, you can have hope.
Love is hope. And if you're in it, you need to enjoy it.
And that is a powerful thing that can guide you through life.
And how hard it is to have it and believe in it and believe that your life can get better.
If you have hope and you have belief and you keep going, you'll find the answer.
What is the good in telling them when there is no hope? Well, if there's one thing I've gained from you hero types, is that there's always hope.
I remember I was brought to tears by a speech that Mary Margaret gave.
I gave the book to him because I wanted Henry to have the most important thing anyone can have.
When she talked about hope and how important it is to hope.
Believing in even the possibility of a happy ending is a very powerful thing.
I believe that the heart of Once Upon a Time is truly hope. We all hope for the best in life.
Snow!
Charming. We all hope that we're going to be happy.
You found me.
Belief gives you hope, and it gives you courage, and it gives you conviction, and it gives you strength.
No, wait!
You're a girl.
The first Snow Charming backstory fulfilled all of my little girl dreams about what being in a fairy tale would be.
You can't hide from me! Wherever you are, I will find you!
I think that mostly when Snow White and Prince Charming met, they were impressed with each other.
I told you I'd find you.
Aren't you a real Prince Charming?
I have a name, you know.
Don't care. Charming suits you. Now cut me down, Charming.
Snow and Charming are absolute equals for sure.
I felt like these were really incredible characters and a lot of really strong women characters.
We don't have any damsels in distress here who are waiting for a man to come and save them.
It's the queen. Run! She's not a queen anymore.
In the wedding scene, Snow White draws Prince Charming's sword.
She's nothing more than an evil witch.
No. Don't stoop to her level.
There has not been a lot of ball gown wearing. These women can all take care of themselves. And so I like wearing the breeches, and to be honest, they're easier to move in.
Well, the wardrobe kind of puts you there immediately. We're very lucky to have such an amazing department, and hair and makeup. Everyone's just looks beautiful.
Is that any way to address a queen?
I think I'd like to be the evil queen. She's got these crazy outfits, and I think it'd be fun to wear those outfits.
No, this won't do.
What are you doing? When we meet young Regina, she's very innocent. Her hair's pulled back. She has braids. And then after the loss of Daniel, she starts to transform. And it happens over a course of years.
The queen is dead. Long live the evil queen.
That's been fun. Just to kind of look at the stories and go, okay, well, where are we in her life? And that sort of manifests in how she dresses. Our makeup artist will give her a lighter cheek, or, sometimes we do a lot of shadowing on the side when she's the full-on, evil queen leading up to enacting the curse. Her eyes are a bit bigger and crazed, and the face is different. I want it to look different.
When you read a Once Upon a Time script, you can see the scale of it. You can feel the epicness, if that's a word.
Not just the storytelling, but the environment that we get to work in and the crew that we get to work with.
I'll have a challenge. 1 minute you're climbing a beanstalk. The next minute you're talking about pixie dust and you're trying to kill Peter Pan. It's just an amazing experience to go into all these different worlds.
There was something about the trolls on the troll bridge that we fought. The character design of those trolls that reminded me of the world of Labyrinth and Jim Henson. And I was so taken with those trolls.
You saved me.
How could I let Prince Charming die?
I have a name. It's James.
It's nice to meet you, James.
One of the great things about fairy tales is there's universal truths in them. And so for us, it's always trying to find them and apply them to our characters.
There's more to life than just looking for the next fight. You gotta look for the moments.
Moments.
Yes, life is made up of moments, good ones, bad ones, but they're all worth living.
That's an idea that's really woven into the storytelling every week. Hey, take a breath. Take a breath and look at what's around you.
We have this idea of how things should unfold, but sometimes we're missing the signs that are right before our eyes.
We have to start our family now.
I don't follow.
Regina will always be a problem. And if not her, there will be someone or something else. There will always be something else.
You never know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. So living in the moment is a very important message that I think comes across really nicely.
We have to find the good moments in between all of the bad ones. A better way to make a good moment than with a child.
These characters have journeyed to many realms.
Well, I really liked Wonderland, even though I was only there for one episode. I just found it fascinating.
What's the name of this place?
The Enchanted Forest is obviously the realm that we've explored the most.
It's good to be back.
Storybrooke is where Snow White is probably happiest, but I really like the pomp and circumstance of the Enchanted Forest.
This is truly a night for celebration.
But of all the worlds they've explored, only one runs on imagination.
Is that it?
Aye. Neverland.
I remember getting a book of fairy tales and I saw Peter Pan and I just fell in love with it. The idea that you can go to a place that is built by your imagination and fly. I just love the whole idea.
Neverland is a place where imagination runs wild.
Their mission? To save Henry. But this land would present enormous challenges.
Well, for us, Neverland was a place that makes you confront your past because there is no future. Since you don't grow up, all you have is the present and your past.
Hide it where no one can find it.
For Rumpelstiltskin, coming to Neverland is a homecoming of sorts. He's going to be facing his father, who became Peter Pan.
The twist on Peter Pan is that he's very, very different than the Peter Pan that we would all know and love, I guess. He's quite a nasty character.
Why did you bring me here?
For quite some time, I've sought something extremely important. The heart of the truest believer.
Peter Pan is desperate to hold on to eternal youth.
You are the lucky owner of that very special heart. You and it are mine.
Somebody who wants to be 14 for the rest of their lives, there's probably something a little off about them.
Come on, boys! Let's play.
I really enjoyed Neverland. I enjoyed that we were all on that journey together, that we all had a really focused mission, that we all needed to save Henry.
What did we call ourselves at the beginning of this year? The Nevengers.
Henry! Hi, Emma.
For us, it's about belief. It's Emma believing in herself as a leader. You know, Henry had the heart of the truest believer, and we had to go find him.
David!
Where's Henry? Where is he?
Emma identified more with the orphans on the island, even though her parents were there.
That boy with the knife. You stopped fighting him. Why?
Because when I looked at his face, I saw me. Just a lost little girl who cried herself to sleep at night because she wanted her parents so bad.
For Snow White, she's also realizing she missed 28 years.
We were cheated out of everything. Her first step, her first word, her first smile. When we get off this island and get back to Storybrooke, I want to have another baby.
And whether or not they do, we'll have to wait and see.
You sure you don't want me to take a look at that?
I was lucky my jacket wasn't. Don't worry about it.
Snow White and Prince Charming find themselves in Neverland, challenged in a new way. You know, Charming, in the process of being heroic, he's poisoned.
He spent most of Neverland thinking he was going to die.
And this canteen is the water that will stop the dream shade that will save your life.
If it wasn't for Hook, I wouldn't be alive. I thought he deserved a little credit. Thank you.
This is a different Captain Hook that's returning to Neverland.
Did you really save his life?
That surprise you?
He has given up on vengeance. He realizes it is a hollow pursuit, and that his real pursuit is Emma.
Well, perhaps gratitude is in order now.
I think Hook has been a big surprise for her. I think she did not have high expectations for him based on knowing the little bits that she knew about his past and him being a pirate.
You couldn't handle it.
Perhaps you're the one who couldn't handle it.
Emma's a tough nut to crack on a romantic level.
She is, but I think Hook likes that. He sort of likes the challenge.
A one-time thing. Don't follow me. Wait 5 minutes. Go get some firewood or something.
As the search for Henry continued, a familiar face returned to Neverland.
Going back to Neverland for Neil was kind of like going back to the old neighborhood.
Welcome home, Balefire.
That's a place that Neil had spent some time, knew how to operate.
Pan's shadow? That's your way off the island?
Well, unfortunately, it's the only way. That's why we have to capture it.
Capture it? We've never been within 10 feet of Pan unless he wanted us to be.
I know where to look.
Emma, Neil, and Hook searched the darkest corners of the island.
See that Pan's shadow? Let's go!
Their encounter shed light on feelings that could not be ignored.
We almost lost our shot at capturing the shadow because you two were fighting over a lighter.
It wasn't the lighter we were fighting over, love.
It's interesting to be even thinking about the idea of a love triangle because so often what Emma's focused on is saving Henry.
Let me be very clear about something. If I had to choose someone, I'd choose Henry. He's the only love I have room for in my life.
Emma's so much more than any single relationship in her life. By the end of her time in Neverland, she was a leader.
This land is run on belief. It is time for all of us to believe. Not in magic, but in each other. A hero, a villain, a pirate. It doesn't matter which, because we're going to need all those skills, whether we can stomach them or not.
And what's your skill, Savior?
I'm a mother.
There's something about all of our characters coming together, the villains and the heroes. It's been so much fun.
Henry, are you okay? Henry, can you hear me? You're here? Yes, we're coming to get you.
It's always nice to have, you know, a team and a family behind you to fight for you and fight with you. And Regina's found that in the Charmings, strangely enough.
Regina and the heroes worked as one. Pan was stopped, and Henry was safe.
Hold on, Henry.
And together they journeyed home.
A lot of the characters in Neverland this year are people who lost something. Their dream was taken from them, and in a lot of ways, Neverland showed them to continue to have faith and believe.
You think it'll fly? It has no choice.
Because sometimes you have to be ready to receive the happy ending. And sometimes our happy endings aren't what we think they are.
A triumphant return home brought family together.
He's back.
You know, I think Once Upon a Time presents family as something that's extremely important.
It's about family in a world where anything's possible.
That, at the end of the day, is most important.
I didn't believe we were all going to make it out of that place.
Well, we did.
And we owe a lot of it to her.
Regina helped save us all.
It's not about going to the ball. It's not about meeting a prince. It's about finding home.
But this happy homecoming included an uninvited guest.
Look at you all. A captive audience. Hard to tell which one to kill first.
Stay away from them.
For Rumpelstiltskin, he has deep, deep issues with his father, and he knows that it's probably not a confrontation he's going to survive.
I love you, Bay. And I love you, Belle. You made me stronger.
Everything Rumpel has ever done was to let his son know that he regretted giving him up, something his own father never did for him.
And that episode that we saw when Rumpel stabs his father, and it's just heartbreaking. But I feel like you have to break the cycle somewhere, and that's what he was doing.
What we saw was a man making the ultimate sacrifice for his family.
Hello, Papa. Romeo, please. We can start over. We can have a happy ending. Ah, but I'm a villain. And villains don't get happy endings.
That's because he maybe thinks that you don't deserve it, and your actions through your life dictate what you're going to get at the end of it.
Rumpel sacrificed himself for his son, for Belle, and for everybody. He left this world with his son knowing that he loved him.
Rumpel, he's gone.
Despite Rumpel's heroism, the damage had already been done. Pan unleashed Regina's curse, which brought an entirely new set of consequences.
The curse! It's here! It's coming! There's no escape.
I have no choice. I have to undo what I started.
We hear from Regina what the cost of this curse is, which is that, you know, she can never see her son again, and our fairy tale characters can't come back.
Breaking the curse destroys the town.
You'll go back to the enchanted forest.
All of us, except Henry. You will take him because you're the savior. And once again, you can escape it.
With these characters, anything is possible. Bad can become good, and good isn't all that it seems to be, and that all the people in our world are deserving of a happy ending, no matter what they've been through or what they've done.
It's not my fault.
It wasn't your fault. It's mine. I cast a curse out of vengeance. I think there's a moral in all of our stories that we tell in every episode. I'm a villain.
You're not a villain. You're my mom.
There's a lot of lessons to learn from our show, and that's kind of what fairy tales were always about anyhow.
There's not a day will go by I won't think of you.
Good. Once Upon a Time is a really extensive look at how much hope and faith it takes to be quote unquote happy.
When the curse washes over us, it will send us all back. Nothing will be left behind, including your memories. When you cross that town line, you will have the life you always wanted.
It's about hope, and it's always been about hope, and it's about the belief that no matter how bad things are, no matter how bad things seem, if you just keep that faith and you keep that belief, someday they'll get better.
There are happy endings out there for everyone. It's how you get to it that can be the challenge, and what you do with it when you get it that's important.
We really wanted the season to feel like two different seasons. So the first half was really concentrated on Neverland, and it was about belief. And the second half of the season is really going to explore what home means. And we always said when we created Emma that she was a character looking for home, but because she never had one, she doesn't know what it is.
Someone coming over?
No? Henry, wait here.
Swan. Rose,
Do I know you?
look, I need your help. Something's happened, something terrible. Your family is in trouble.
My family's right here. Who are you?
No, friend. Look, I know you can't remember me, but I can make you.
What the hell are you doing?
A long shot. I had to try. I was hoping you felt as I did.
All you're gonna feel is the handcuffs when I call the cops.
Look, I know this seems crazy, but you have to listen to me. You have to remember.
Who was that? No idea. Someone must have left the door open downstairs. Come on, let's eat.